time of E3 this year, it became apparent that while 2014 was certainly going to be packed to the brim with really cool games, they weren't actually going to be released until 2015. A number of larger-than-life AAA releases were apparently just too meaty to get out this year, and while that means we have a lot to look forward to in 2015, there's still a few months of seriously promising gaming experiences to come this year. First up is a game that's out next week and is my personal most anticipated title of 2014. It's the third game in the Longest Journey universe, DREAMFALL Chapters. DREAMFALL Chapters blitzed its way through a successful Kickstarter a while back, and now we're finally getting the first episode of the adventure game sequel. The saga has a huge cult following thanks to the critically acclaimed original The Longest Journey, which came out in 1999. If you're a fan of strong character development, fantasy worlds with epic narratives, and a heavy dose of world saving, this could be your cup of tea. Not a lot of games can earn a perfect 10 on GameSpot, the last of which was Super Mario Galaxy 2 in 2010. But now another has landed, and it's none other than Bayonetta 2 for Wii U. Bayonetta 2 also happens to be landing this week in the West, so if your desperation for a great 2014 release can't wait any longer, this is a great game for you to set your sights on. This over-the-top action game has executed all of the right moves to prove to naysayers that it's not just a game being bought for its sexy protagonist. The combat is smart, and satisfyingly, it demands skill and mastery of its fighting system. Whether or not you've got yourself a Wii U, it seems like this might be a really good item for the reason to buy column. If you don't have a Wii U and you're not that keen on adventure games, this year isn't done delivering for you either. Let's continue with Sunset Overdrive for Xbox One. This one will have had a hard time falling under your radar thanks to the frantic energy and bright colourful world that developer INSOMNIAC Games has been so keen to show off. You'll be able to get your action on here too, but mostly with guns, wall running and rail grinding. The plot is a mishmash of nonsensical madness, but this one is touted to be worth it for the momentum-focused gameplay and the 8-player co-op, should you be able to find a friend also keen to fight humans who've overdosed on an energy drink. To take it in a totally different direction, Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth is coming, so it's Civ in space. Again. Basically, you'll be founding colonies on alien planets and helping rebuild mankind who's recovering from a mysterious catastrophic event known as the Great Mistake. Beyond Earth is a spiritual successor to the critically acclaimed Alpha Centauri, which came out in 1999. The sci-fi focus of Beyond Earth should be attractive thanks to a balance between the typical foundations of a Civ game, with city-based progression, leads, a tile-based map, turn-based gameplay, and so on, alongside human factions that are now divided by differing philosophies on human advancement. That then shapes players' technological advancement and unlocks unique units. Finally, November 18 of this year is going to be a really good day, because if you're into high fantasy RPGs or dense action shooters, you're going to be really happy. Dragon Age Inquisition may have been pushed back a hell of a lot already after its initial year-long delay, but developer BIOWARE seem pretty sure that the 18th of November will be the date to jot in your diary, although I'd use a pencil just in case. Dragon Age Origins was a smash hit, and although Dragon Age 2 caused some divisive opinions for not being quite as good as the original, we have pretty high hopes for the third installment. It's only been a 3-year wait, but high fantasy RPGs of this budget and magnitude don't come along every day, and assuming BioWare keep to the enormous open world and character customization options they're promising, Inquisition should be worth the wait. The really long wait. Finally, if controversial box art, warring elephants, and a potentially premature DLC pack are all you know about Far Cry 4, it could be worth your while to dig a little deeper. In typical Far Cry style, the dark and twisted story focuses on characters both evil and well-meaning in the middle of a civil war. The mildly sadistic and narcissistic pagan Min has appointed himself king of the mountainous Himalayas, and for the first time in the history of the series, the main characters are natives to the country that the game takes place in. As with the earlier installments, Far Cry 4 has a large open-world map to explore, has a bevy of combat options intended to spice up your play, and there are multiple endings to work toward as you make your way through the story. What is your most anticipated 2014 release? Is it one of the ones I mentioned or a whole other game I didn't include? Let me know down in the comments and I'll catch you next week.